how much influence would a party leader have on your vote?
I think it would have a definite amount on my vote, because when I'm placing my ballot, I think of what the party leader and what he represents.
I think a big part. If someone is not able to articulate what they're feeling, or if they just are a generally unlikable person with a history of making uninformed or harmful decisions for the people in Canada, then absolutely I think that they, no matter what their party is representing, then I think that's something that needs to be taken into consideration.
Well, I think it's not insignificant, but I'm really more interested, I like to think I'm more interested in the policy issues themselves. So that shouldn't be as dependent on the personality or the charisma of the individual leader.
Honestly, their objectives and their motives, there's what's most important. The person doesn't matter. It's what they're going to do for us and in the future.
Well, I listen to, to each party and see which more tailors to like our family's needs and whatnot, and we go from there. And I make a choice, and the missus makes a choice, and yeah. I mean, I don't think there's a huge influence. It's just like, I just look at what each party or each leader is willing to do for the country or for our province and stuff like that, and vote accordingly.
I gave my vote to the one whom I thought had a better vision for our future.
It does really, it does indeed. Yeah.
How so?
The thing is, the people's presence makes an impression, and what is the impression that affects the leadership, and that impression affects the policies and everything one can do.
One person doesn't make the party, so I think we have to keep that in mind. And unfortunately, I think the last couple of elections has been about the person and maybe his hair. And that doesn't always make a good leader.
That's a really interesting question, because to me it's sort of like in Canada, the MP is sort of generally a foot soldier, right? What did Trudeau Sr. say at one point? Like, MPs 50 meters from Parliament Hill, they're all nobodies. And so it would have a fairly large influence, which is, if I can digress a little bit, which is sort of why I'm unhappy with the Conservatives, because I don't think O'Toole is a credible alternative to Trudeau. They're sort of a little bit in the same boat, and Trudeau, at least you know what you're getting. With O'Toole, so a lot of influence, probably.
Oh, probably about 50%, I would say. But I do like to look at policy, between the various parties as well.
It's no question it's going to have some. At the end of the day, you want to vote for the best person for the job. If that's someone that's an NDP, Green Party, PC, Liberal, you want to vote for the best person. But at the same time, if the platform is something you don't agree with from whatever party, then it's going to be tough to vote for that person you want to get in if you don't agree with the party. So there's no question the leadership plays a role into it.
Not a whole lot. No, I can't look at the candidates in my area, and I don't really look at the leader as such.
Well, that definitely influences, for example, for federal election. The history of people's leaders talk about the COVID and what they advised, it's really important for people who wants to vote and for people who wants to make a decision. COVID is really important issue, and we cannot make compromises on that so early. And leader needs to be careful what they are planning, what they are talking about that.
Oh, a lot. I gotta say, a lot of times I'll vote for the leader more than the party, because there are some leaders out there that there's no way I would vote for them no matter what they said. So yeah, very, very high on the list for me.
A lot, because it's the person who kind of sets forth everything for the party and who they're going to choose, what decisions they're going to make. So it's definitely important. But I think a lot of voters need to focus on the local people, because they do make a huge impact on what happens in your province, in your riding. But yeah, the leader definitely does make a big shift, especially in mentality about how they approach things. It really does make a difference.
Yeah, they do very much. I go for the person more than I do the party. So yes, they do impact how I vote. If I don't like the person, or I don't feel comfortable with that person, or I don't think that person will do what I want, I'm more for the person in the party.
Yeah, pretty big. It's pretty important, definitely. I think that the party leaders are the face of the image of the party and their platform, and I think that the party leader has a huge impact on how things go for the party, yeah. And influence on my vote too, I guess. Yeah.